us were cold. Call one, call of a child, call of a garden wall. Turn it around, turn it inside out. Soon others will come. Some as they wake, some by mistake, summed in a chain of love. A primal longing, it's in our bones. You can't miss something that you've never known. Hearts in the world are waiting, awakening. Hearts in the world are waiting, waiting. Spirit is one, scattered before the sun, elusive space and time. End of an age, end of a cage, end of a body bound where it can't be found. We carry them along. It isn't far, it is a garden. It is where we are one. Must be home. You can't miss something you've never known. Hearts in the world are waiting, awakening. Hearts in the world. I would really have liked the next song, but we're 5 minutes into service already. Thank y'all. Good morning. Welcome. Glad you're here this morning. Isn't it a beautiful day? This is All Souls is a church that's built on covenant, not creed. We don't all think the same way about ultimate things like religion and afterlife, or lack thereof, for that matter. What we do is covenant with each other around ideas of how we're going to try to be in the world and with each other. We try to treat respectfully people with differing paths and opinions. We try to learn from one another and walk together in efforts to make the world a little better, a little more just, a little more compassionate. To that end, whoever you are, whatever your age, race, origin, orientation, background, status, ability, identity, if you care to be here with us in a spirit of mutual respect, you are always welcome. This morning, our education director is away, and we don't have that many announcements. I want to lift up Pledge to Vote campaign. This does not tell you who to vote for, but it is you promising that you're going to vote. And there's cards like this out in the foyer on the table, and you can see the QR code and sign up. It's great if you put that you're representing All Souls, because we kind of pledge how many people we're going to try to get to sign the pledge. And this campaign last year made an increase of 54% in the people who just sometimes vote, not the ones that always vote, but the ones who sometimes vote, had a 54% increase in turnout. And so it makes a difference. And we hope that you will participate in that. Each month we select a nonprofit in our area to give our pledges away, the non-pledge contributions away to. This month it's Wildlife Education and Rehabilitation of Louisiana, WIRLA. So if you put money in the basket back there that is not marked pledge, that's where it will go. This morning we will be doing a number of different rituals. You may have seen the burn pit when you were coming in, and there are things here. They are frankly somewhat appropriated from the Jewish tradition, but we conduct these rituals and use this season for reflection and repentance, not because they're Jewish rituals, but because the High Holy Days remind us that we need to be self-reflective. We need to take responsibility for things that might have gone by in the past year. And we need to forgive ourselves and each other. We are not trying to be oblivious to the horrible happenings and conditions across the world. I think they give us all the more reason to be self-reflective and try to take responsibility for the things that we can do and correct relations with other people. So these services are about returning to peace with ourselves. Instead of atonement, which I think of kind of correlating with prison for crimes, atoning for sins, that kind of thing, I think of it as At-One-Ment. We are returning to being one with ourselves, trying to be one with our fellow humans, with our other terrestrial fellows, and with the planet that we live on, for that matter. Want to throw in a happy birthday to Fannie Lou Hamer, one of the most powerful voices for women's rights and civil rights. She did a lot. If you aren't familiar with her history, she passed away in 77, but you may want to look her up. So let us take, and blessing of the animals. I don't know what you're pointing to. Oh, volunteer of the month. Bennett Upton is our volunteer of the month. Thank you, Bennett. He has been working on our tech team forever. He leads classes. He has served as a board president. He's been here working hard for a long time. Next Sunday is Blessing of the Animals. So you and whoever else are invited to bring your well-behaved pet on a leash or in a cage. They are not to roam around freely. And we will offer blessings to your animals. Sorry? And pets are not animals? Okay. All right. I stand corrected. Animals and pets. Okay. Catch your breath. I'm going to. Let the pews hold you up. Relax into being with your head and feet in the same place. And let us together enter a spirit of worship, which means to elevate and contemplate matters of worth. Our opening hymn is in Hebrew. Well, I'm going to go through the pronunciations. You can remain seated. It's Hine Matov Umanayim. Can you say that part with me? Hine Matov Umanayim, which means how good it is and how pleasant. Shevet Ahim Gam Yahad. Shevet Ahim Gam Yahad. For people to be together. Hine Matov Umanayim Shevet Ahim Gam Yahad. Okay? Which overtone am I going to pick? Oh well. Hine matov umanayim shevet ahim gam yahad. Hine matov umanayim shevet ahim gam yahad. That's the first part. The next part is Hine matov shevet ahim gam yahad. Hine matov shevet ahim gam yahad. And then it closes with Hine matov umanayim shevet ahim gam yahad. Okay? I know many of you are timid. I believe in joyful noises. So, Hine matov umanayim shevet ahim gam yahad. Hine matov umanayim shevet ahim gam yahad. Hine ma tov, shevet ahim gam yahad, hine ma tov, shevet ahim gam yahad, hine ma tov umanayim, shevet ahim gam yahad. Now let's do it in English. How good it is and how pleasant for people to dwell together. How good it is and how pleasant for people to be together. Good and pleasant, people in peace together. Good and pleasant, people in peace together. How good it is and how pleasant people to be together. Okay, this is peace, salam, shalom. I would like for us to also do Shabbat Shalom, but we're going to add something. The song goes Shabbat Shalom, ordinarily. It goes Shabbat Shalom, Shabbat Shalom, Shabbat, 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 Shabbat Shalom. And there's another section to it, but just this first part, we're going to do Shabbat Shalom, Salam, peace, Shabbat Shalom, Salam, peace, Shabbat, 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 Shalom, Salam, peace, Shabbat, Shalom, Salam, peace, Shabbat, Shalom, Salam, peace, Shabbat, 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 Shalom. What all of this means is a peaceful Sabbath. That's all it means, okay? We're just doing it in triplicate language-wise, okay? We don't have to do the second part. Let's just do this part again. Shabbat Shalom, Salam, peace, Shabbat Shalom, Salam, peace, Shabbat, 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 Shalom, Salam, peace, Shabbat, Shalom, Salam, peace, Shabbat, Shalom, Salam, peace, Shabbat, 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 Shalom. Thank you very much. Out of the din of the city, away from the noise of the crowds, we come. To rest in this moment, in this place, set apart from the never-ending to-do lists. Embracing the seventh day, a day of rest, we come. To the warmth and stillness of this sacred hour, remember we have chosen to be here. Something in your life led you to arrive here now. Whatever tasks and cares await you now, for this brief time, simply rest. Allow your soul to be natured. Let the waves in your mind and heart gradually subside as you come home to yourself, holy and whole. Come, let us be together. As we gather together this morning, may we learn to recognize and affirm the pieces of possibility, the bits of good that we bring. Each of us, indispensable. If we are to minister to a broken and wounded world, let us be together in gathered diversity, for that's the way we form the world. Spirit of life in which we live and move and have our being, from your deep mystery we have risen. Though we find ourselves dependent on so many things beyond our control, may we find here the courage to manage with righteousness those things that are within our influence. As alone as we sometimes experience ourselves to be, we nevertheless have the capacity to live in deep wonder, touched by what we cannot define and by a presence that guides us. Here we are reminded that we don't have to be alone. We awaken one ray of understanding at a time to the support that is ever available from that in life which heals and holds us through the comfort and the chaos, through the hope and the horror. May all of our days, whether pleasant or painful, be adequately seasoned with beauty and awe, compassion and grace. May we return to our very essence again and again, nearer with each turning to the simple perfection that is at our core. The At-One-Ment, that is the peace beyond our understanding. As we move through life, finding ourselves always newly wise and newly foolish, we ask that our mistakes be small and not hurtful. We ask that as we gain experience, we do not forget our innocence, for they are both part of the whole. This is the season of repair. Though we mindfully grieve the cruel irony of current battles in the Middle East, still we would call this a time to reflect on how we might endure when life tears at us. We are held by the great book of life, in which it is written that we will inevitably face deprivation and discomfort, longing and forgiveness. Each among us contemplate our own place in it all. As those of us in relationship with Judaism mark the high holy days, and those of us out of relationship with Judaism wear conflict with the actions of distant Jewish leadership, let our hearts fill with hope and fear, turning and settling, mystery and agency, accountability and acceptance. Let us together in somber celebration gather, celebrating our shared humanity and our personal power. Come, humbled by the paradox, lifting up matters of worth, let us worship together. May you here prepare to let go of all that binds you, of all that burdens you, of what you carry, of all that shames you, of fear, of trespasses and transgressions, of woundedness. Let go of guilt, let go of anger, let go of small-mindedness and pettiness, of ways of being that no longer work for you, of compulsions that consume your living. Let go of what you cannot change. Let go of regret, of that which haunts you. Let go of pain. Let go of ways in which you missed the mark. Let go. Would someone like to lead the first part of our chalice lighting? Seems every year I add readings so they get longer instead of picking between them, but thank you. Thank you.
We light this chalice to celebrate Unitarian Universalism. This is the church of the open mind. This is the church of the helping hands. This is the church of the loving heart. Together, with mind, hands, and heart, we care for the earth and for each other.
We light our chalice, symbol of our faith for truth sought through a questioning heart and an attentive mind, and for love. Oh, did it go out? Here you go. And for love pursued through obstacles inside and out, our own human heart. And for forgiveness and all it entails, the place where truth and love meet and merge. For every time we make a mistake and we decide to start again, we light this chalice. For every time we are lonely and we let someone be our friend, we light this chalice. For every time we're disappointed and we choose to hope, we light this chalice. We light this chalice during Jewish high holy days, during days of pain throughout the Middle East, following the Jewish New Year, Rosh Hashanah, during the 10 days of Teshuvah, our repentance, and prior to Yom Kippur, which is the Jewish Day of Atonement. May its flame call us to search our souls, sifting through the past year, to see where we might have missed the mark. May its light guide us toward the courageous and open-hearted apology toward repair of relationships in our lives. May its heat warm our hearts to offer forgiveness to those who have wronged us, allowing us to release the chains of grudge and blame that have bound us to them. And may its strength help us take the actions that are within our power to make this next year more just, more loving, more peaceful for our communities and for all of humanity. May its light carry our longing and prayers for peace. And during this season, many are using for repentance and turning. May obligations of their faith pull foreign leaders back into respectful relationship with those around them on this planet. Let us say amen. Thank you. Would you rise in body or spirit and say with me, please, the unison affirmation? Love is the doctrine of this church. The quest for truth is its sacrament, and service is its prayer, to dwell together in peace, to seek knowledge and freedom, to serve human need to the end that all souls shall grow into harmony with the sacred. Thus do we covenant with each other. Thank you. You may want to be seated for this hymn because there's a lot of reading in between. It's the litany we do for forgiving ourselves and each other. In some years, we have a pianist who plays these beautiful variations on a musical theme. Today, you have me. Forgiveness is not forgetting. It's moving thoughts and feelings out of reactive responses to the higher functions of mind and heart and body, where they don't tear at us, but rather allow us to find effective, meaningful responses. So let us forgive ourselves and each other. Would you please join me in reading the things on screen, and then we will sing the responses. Okay. For remaining silent when a single voice would have made a difference, we forgive ourselves and each other. We forget again in love. For each time that our fears have made us rigid and inaccessible, we forgive ourselves and each other. We forget again in love. Many of you need to be singing that an octave higher. We forgive ourselves and each other. We begin again in love. Okay, where am I? For each time that we have struck out in anger without just cause, we forgive ourselves and each other. We begin again in love. For each time that our greed has blinded us to the needs of others, we forgive ourselves and each other. We begin again in love. For the selfishness which sets us apart and alone, we forgive ourselves and each other. We begin again in love. For falling short of the admonitions of the Spirit, we forgive ourselves and each other. We begin again in love. For losing sight of our unity, we forgive ourselves and each other. We begin again in love. For those and for so many acts, both evident and subtle, which have fueled the illusion of separateness, we forgive ourselves and each other. We begin again in love. 4 days ago, Jewish communities all over the world celebrated the birth of the world and the beginning of the Hebrew calendar year. While Jews have many holy days and holidays of their own throughout the year, they begin the new year with what they consider to be the high holy days, the highest of the celebrations, the most sacred of their religious traditions and celebrations. The first day of the high holy days is Rosh Hashanah, which was last Wednesday. It began. They tell the story of the Garden of Eden and the beginning of the world. Along with the Garden of Eden story, we think of apples. The story is about Adam and Eve eating the fruit from the one and only tree in the garden from which they were told not to eat. So the apple can be a sign of human failures and frailties, but that's really not the part of the story that the apples symbolize for Rosh Hashanah. they actually are more to indicate wholeness. They have the seed in them. They have the fruit that has come to fruition and ripened in a growth cycle. They carry sweetness. And that's what we start with for this ritual. The sweetness that is part of life. And we add honey to it to symbolize the added sweetness that can come when we come around right with others and with ourselves and look for the beauty in life. Not complicated, is it? I'm seeing lots of people with closed eyes. I'm sad. Well, we're going to share apples with honey. And I will pass around napkins first. Later in the service, we're going to be talking about reflecting, taking seriously the task of introspection. But for now, let's be reminded of the goodness around us, the fact that we're here, the fact that we're alive, the fact that we're free to be here, the fact that we probably are hopefully have bodies that can manage the nutrition of these. No, please pass the tray. Oh, yes, right. Okay, I was wrong. We're in the new month. Can I have this microphone, please? I was wrong. The giveaway, the plate that I mentioned was wildlife education. That was last month. We're in a new month, and this month, our giveaway, the plate, is the LSUS chapter of Students for Justice in Palestine.
LSUS Students for Justice in Palestine is committed to raising awareness of the injustices inflicted on the Palestinian people.
I can't hear you. You want to come up here and say all that? Thank you.
LSUS Students for Justice in Palestine is committed to raising awareness of the injustices inflicted on the Palestinian people by the Israeli military invasion, and to foster social and political education for their members and for the local and international communities. Thank you.
Thank you. Go ahead. Enjoy. This is local honey. It actually came from Stonewall. But so it'll bolster your immune system. And just little factoids while you're doing this. Foraging honeybees have to fly 55,000 miles to produce a pound of honey. 55,000 miles to produce a pound of honey. And they visit around 2 million flowers. So Happy New Year. May this year be sweet for you. May the fullness that an apple represents be yours. May the potential that the apple seed represents be yours. May the tenacity of the bees be yours. And if you will, could you help me sing the kids out to their classics? Go now in peace, go now in peace. May the Spirit of the Lord surround everywhere, everywhere you may go. During our time of reflection this morning, I invite you to do just that. Reflect. That's quite a load. So I'm going to now pass around baskets with writing utensils, little strips of blank paper, and another piece of paper that has some things you might want to consider as we reflect on our last year. I'll be doing some more readings, but you will have things to do during that and our time of silence, if you wish. We will take them out in a little while, at the end of the service, light a fire and release them into the flames, okay? Take one of each kind of piece of paper and a writing utensil. I know it's kind of odd to do this sort of soul searching. This is feeding back a little bit, James. A little in public. But this isn't hopefully the only time that we do it. It's just reminders, and it's to think about it when we're together so that we can practice that vulnerability a bit. I think that asks a lot of us. Nobody is going to see what you write down. We're going to fold them up and put them in the fire, and you don't have to write out full sentences. You can make marks for something that represents it to you. You are the only one you are writing to. All our lives we've been told to seek that which is good. These readings are from J. Abernathy and Victoria Stafford. All of our lives we've been told to seek that which is good, to turn our faces from the dark and toward the light, toward beauty and toward truth. But the truth is, the world is not always good. The light we seek casts shadows, and there is brokenness amid the beauty. Our world is far from perfect, and so are we. We strive to be in right relationship with one another, but there are times when we're left angry or disappointed. Even as we sometimes anger or disappoint others. Whether it is the harsh words said by a loved one or loss of a friendship, the carelessness of a stranger, or the scars left by a childhood trauma, bad things do happen. We cannot seek truth, beauty, and light without acknowledging and affirming that which is false and broken and in shadow. For all of these exist within us as well. Within us as well. In this moment, let us remember the wrongs we have endured, the imperfections that we have perpetrated, perpetuated, that we may forgive them and ourselves, forgive yet again, and in the times of music and readings that continue and follow, let us write our resentments, give form to our grievances, and bring them forward or backward to burn in a while. For like our anger, the flames may burn and destroy, but like our love, the flames may also cleanse and purify. Let us undertake the work of forgiving ourselves and each other, that we may begin again in love. The task is not to patch things up, smooth things over, reach a compromise, or sweep mistakes and easy memories under the rug, or uneasy memories under the rug. The task is not to feel better. The task is ownership. The goal is truth. For it's in our own redemptive sake. I did this. I said this to you, and it was wrong. I neglected this. I botched that up. I betrayed you thusly. I demeaned you, whether you ever knew it or not. This is the truth in which both of us are living, and I ask you to forgive me. Imagine how many deep breaths you would need to take. Imagine how many doors you'd need to knock on. How many phone calls you'd have to make. How many letters, how many lunches and coffees. How many awkward moments with your children and parents and strangers, the cashier to whom you spoke sharply. Awkward is irrelevant. The task is not about comfort. It's about truth. About wholeness and holiness. Restoring you. Restoring the world. Imagine someone who's been preparing all year to speak with you, to write to you, to ask you a hard question. Perhaps in some way not quite conscious, you have even known this, and you've been preparing too. Finally, you answer the door or the phone or open the letter with shaky hands, and there it is, what you thought you'd been longing for, but really have dreaded. Someone is asking you for your forgiveness. The task is not about comfort. It is about truth. Awkward is irrelevant. You get to choose now. You have to choose whether or how you will participate in restoration and forgiveness. Abandon the pleasant piety that claims knee-jerk forgiveness as the unquestioned moral course. You get to choose which way will be right in this case, between you as persons and with all that you hold sacred. What response will make the world more whole? Imagine. Something yearns in us to come round right. Something creaky, rusty, heavy, almost calcified within us tries, in spite of us and of all our fears and self-deceptions, to turn and creak and turn again and come around just a little bit truer. Imagine healing completely from within.
start over. If I could love as if I'd never been hurt, I'd open my heart as your lover. They say time heals all wounds, and then innocence returns. Oh, I say pain steals when hearts close, of how miracles occur. How can I change and let go of all of my fear? 'Cause if there was a way to forget what I know, put down the past and start over. And if I could love as if I'd never been hurt, I'd open my heart as your lover. There was a way. There was a way. There was a way.
Would you please join me in the responsive reading that's on the screen up here? Now is the time of turning. The leaves are beginning to turn from green to red and orange. The birds are beginning to turn and are heading once more toward the south. The animals are beginning to turn to storing their food for the winter. The leaves, birds, and animals turning comes instinctively. But for us, turning does not come so easily. It takes an act of will for us to make a turn. It means breaking with old habits. It means admitting that we have been wrong, and this is never easy. It means losing face. It means starting all over again, and this is always painful. It means saying, I'm sorry. It means recognizing that we have the ability to change. These things are hard to do. But unless we turn, we will be trapped forever in yesterday's ways. God, help us to turn from callousness to sensitivity, from hostility to love, from pettiness to purpose, from envy to contentment, from carelessness to discipline, from fear to faith. Turn us around, O God, and bring us back toward you. Revive our lives as at the beginning, and turn us toward each other, God, for in isolation there is no life. That's from a Rosh Hashanah reading. And we trust you to use your universal translators. This is a very repetitious song. We'll just do it a couple or three times. Turn around to find what I fit inside. Open up and let my light heal again. Round again to find what I hid inside. Open up and let the light in. Turn around to find what I hid inside. Open up and let the light heal again. round again to find what I hid inside. Open up and let the light in. One more time. Turn around to find what I hid inside. Open up and let the light heal again. Round again to find what I hid inside. Open up and let the light in. May we develop and maintain the capacity to forgive. He who is devoid of the power to forgive is devoid of the power to love. There is some good in the worst of us and some evil in the best. When we discover this, we are less prone to hate our enemies, said Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. Forgiveness is not an occasional act, he said. It is a constant attitude. From John O'Donohue, may you listen to your longing to be free. May the frames of your belonging be large enough for the dreams of your soul. May you arise each day with a voice of blessing whispering in your heart that something good is going to happen to you. May you find a harmony between your soul and your life. May the mansion of your soul never become a haunted place. May you know the eternal longing which lives in the heart of time. May there be kindness in your gaze when you look within. May you never place walls between the light and yourself. May your angel free you from the prisons of guilt, fear, disappointment, and despair. May you allow the wild beauty of the invisible world to gather you, mind you, and embrace you in belonging. Love yourself home. Be gentle with the turning and returning. Too often people try to change their lives by using the will as a kind of hammer to beat their lives into shape. If you work with a different rhythm, you will come easily and naturally home to yourself. Your soul knows this rhythm. It knows the map. Therefore, you can trust this indirect, oblique side of yourself. And if you do, it will take you where you need to go. If you will, follow me outside, bring your slips of paper, and let's do our ritual of cleansing, burning, release.